a British shipping company not too long ago. They were set up in Dublin, and they had made so much money off the Irish people, they said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to thank you folks, and we're going to erect a statue right in the middle of Dublin on O'Connell Street, which they did. They put up a statue to a man by the name of Lord Nelson, Horatio Nelson. Now, Lord Nelson, if you know the Irish at all, you know that they only refer to one person as Lord, and his last name ain't Nelson. But they let this statue up there for a while. But there was one point in 1966 that a group of men in, that's just between us, we'll call it a club, decided they didn't want to look at Lord Nelson anymore, so they climbed up to the top and they wrapped some explosives around his head and they blew his head off. I was -2. I had nothing to do with it. So anyways, what happened was the Irish government came in and they said, well, this is no longer safe. It was crumbling, and they sent in their own munitions experts and they blew up the rest of the statue. And from what I heard, they destroyed about 12 cars on the street. They blew up a bunch of windows at the same time. Now, what our father did, though, during all this time of strife and history in the making, as they say, he thought this was such a funny tale that he thought he'd write a song about it. So the very next day he went back and he wrote a song about the whole thing. And we're going to do it right now. There's this.
Lord Nelson stood in pomp state upon his pillar high, and down along O'Connell Street he cast a wicked eye. He thought how this barbaric race had fought the British ground, if they were condemned to let him sing by here in Dublin town. So remember brave Lord Nelson, boys, he had never known defeat, and for his reward they stuck him up in the middle of O'Connell Street.
Now for many years Lord Nelson stood, and no one seemed to care. He went after that O'Connell who was standing right down there. He thought the Irish liked me, for they would not let me say
That is accept both fighters, as they call the IRA. So remember brave Lord Nelson, boys, he had never known defeat, and for his reward they stuck him up in the middle of O'Connell Street. And then in 1966, on March the 7th day, a mighty great explosion made Lord Nelson rock and sway. He crashed and down O'Connell died in woeful misery. There are twice as many